Listen,
Respectfully, Your Honor,
Miss Pugh,
for
don't
my
speak over me.
corporation,
Miss Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen, Miss Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me.
Where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
You can go back with the bailiff. Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
All right. Today's courtroom moment features a known-sense judge and a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen clashing head to head. This individual came in with a small handwritten note, repeating the usual legal arguments often heard in these cases, confident that it would somehow change the outcome. It's the kind of situation that's both frustrating and fascinating to watch. Let us know in the comments what you think about how this hearing unfolds. Now, let's get into it and see exactly how the judge handles the situation.
Good morning. Are you Janetta Pugh?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the what?
I am the beneficiary of that estate.
You're the beneficiary of what estate? Answer my questions, please, ma'am. I'm just trying to understand.
Beneficiary of that estate.
Okay.
For the record, I recognize Ms. Pugh. She's been here before.
I do as well, for the record.
And I looked into Mr. Christopher Wiley. I can't find that person as a practicing lawyer in the state bar page, and I have not been contacted by anybody on Ms. Pugh's behalf.
All right, so Ms. Pugh, Mr. Lewis has been appointed to represent you at this point. Obviously, you know as well as anyone that you're in custody and we want to get your case taken care of. If you've hired or your family has hired another lawyer, then they have to contact the court so that we can do something with your case. And do you know if they've hired someone?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree with your appointed foreign agents, considering that the first duty is to the state and will be considered conflict of interest. Your Honor.
Okay, so if you don't want, the only thing I can do, I'm appointing an attorney to you to help you, right? So if you don't want a court-appointed attorney, then your only option, two things. One is to represent yourself or to hire a lawyer. So if you don't like the way it works, then you do something different. So are you, listen to what I'm saying. Are you either going to represent yourself, or are you going to let Mr. Lewis represent you, or are you going to hire someone?
Objection, Your Honor. Respectfully, is this a court of record?
It is a court of record. So your objection's overruled.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, where is the verified claim that is being placed against my trust?
It's right here. It's called an indictment. And Mr. Lewis has a copy of it, and he can show it to you. So that would be the verified claim against you.
Okay. Your Honor, respectfully, Your Honor, there were writs that was filed to the case that still haven't been received.
I've received your petition for writ of habeas corpus, and it's denied.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, I demand to be released due to lack of evidence of stated claim and not being given the proper opportunity to obtain proper counsel, defective defense.
It's overruled.
Okay.
You're running out, aren't you?
No, it's fine.
Joelle, this moment is something else. You can tell the judge is staying calm and collected, just letting the situation play out. While the defendant sticks to the typical sovereign citizen script, it's always surprising how confident some people are in these arguments. Even though courts have repeatedly ruled that claims like "I don't" consent don't actually change legal outcomes. That's just not how the law or jurisdiction works. What's interesting here is that the defendant seems polite. She's saying "Your Honor" and trying to keep it respectful, but she also seems a bit lost. It makes you wonder how she got to this point and what convinced her this strategy would work in a real courtroom. She seems like someone who genuinely believes in what she's saying. But unfortunately, she's leaning on legal ideas that simply don't hold up. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm Curious to hear how you view these types of courtroom moments. Let's jump back in and see how the rest of this hearing plays out.
So here's the thing, Miss Pugh. I appreciate your position, but listen,
Respectfully, Your Honor,
Miss Pugh, don't
with my
speak over me.
incarceration- Respectfully, Your Honor, with my incarceration being
Miss
involved-
Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen to me. Everything you have there is overruled. And here's one of the reasons why, is because you have a lawyer. And your lawyer will file the appropriate motion. You're interrupting me again, which is disrespectful. So I'm going to leave Mr. Lewis as your attorney unless you choose to represent yourself or hire someone else. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to determine what you're going to do. You can go back. You can go back with the bailiff.
I will not agree or comply to your appointed
Go back.
agents.
You already said that, and that's overruled.
Is to the state.
Go back with the bailiff. Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.
See, well, that was definitely a tough moment to watch. But the story doesn't end there. This same sovereign citizen actually returns for another hearing. And yes, I've got that footage too. At this point, the judge truly deserves some credit. Handling a situation like this takes real patience. It's not easy when someone insists on using legal arguments that don't hold up in court. Still, the judge stays calm, focused, and composed throughout. She's firm when needed, but also patient, tanned. Honestly, that's impressive. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel the judge is handling this so far? Now, let's move on to the next hearing and see how it all unfolds from here.
Perfect. So, Miss Pugh, Mr. Jeffries has been appointed to represent you. He's just been given, he's trying to get caught up real quickly on all the information and the discovery in your case. I'm going to reset your case so that he can get all of that. Once he gets it, he'll be out there to go over it with you, and we'll see if we can get an announcement at the next court date.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree to comply with any of your appointed court agents, considering that their first duty is to the state.
I understand. We've had this conversation before.
And for your record, I'll be representing myself.
So if you want to represent yourself, there's some things. Ms. Pugh, stop talking over me. If you want to stop talking over me. If you want to represent yourself, then there is a process that we have to go through, and we'll do that today if that's what you want to do. We'll get your case set for trial and we'll go forward that way. It is highly inadvisable for you to represent yourself. Lawyers have many, many years of training. They understand the law. They understand how a trial works, because here's what happens. When you're in a trial and you represent yourself, you're expected to know and follow all of the rules of evidence, all the rules of procedure. And so you're really at a disadvantage if you don't know those things. And so you have to do everything just like the assistant district attorney would. And if you don't, you're going to be in front of a jury and it's going to show, and it's just not going to be, it usually does not work out in your benefit. But I have to go through with you some questions first before we do that. And then if you still want to do that, then there's a couple of things couple of options, and we'll go over those as well. Okay. So I am supposed to ask you, I'm going to go through these questions. I need you to answer them if you want to represent yourself, because this is required. All right. So have you ever studied the law? Okay. Have you ever represented yourself before in any kind of criminal matter? Okay. Do you understand the charges against you? Okay. And so do you know, and we've gone over before, I think, what the range of punishment is if you're found guilty on a jury? Do you know what that is? Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me pull you up here. We'll go over that again as well. The date of that allegations from June 22nd of 2021. And what that means is if you're found guilty, that the range of punishment that the jury could give you is between 2 years as a minimum punishment up to 10 years in prison, anywhere in between. Do you understand? And you answer out loud just for the record.
Do I understand? No, I don't understand.
What do you not understand about that?
I had a feeling she was going to say that. It's become so predictable at this point. After watching so many of these sovereign citizen cases, their arguments start to sound the same. Breaking them down every day can be exhausting, and while some of it is frustrating, it's also a reminder of how important it is to understand the law clearly. It's tough to watch at times because some of these individuals may be struggling personally, but their actions also create serious challenges for the system. They take up time and resources and court resources that could be used for real cases that need attention. Interestingly, this time, she didn't bring the handwritten note she used in the first hearing. Maybe spending time in county jail encouraged her to memorize her usual talking points. And now it seems like she's thinking about representing herself. If that's the case, things might not go well for her, especially given the seriousness of the charges. Let's get back into it and see how this part of the hearing unfolds.
I don't understand, Your Honor.
So here's the thing. If you want to represent yourself, by law, you have to be able to understand these things. Otherwise, I've got to appoint an attorney for you. So you can't just say, I want to represent myself because I don't like the attorney or I don't like the process. This is the process that you're in. You live in Texas, you live in the United States. This is the law that applies to your case. So what do you not understand about the range of punishment if you're found guilty? And I'd be glad to explain it.
I don't understand because I haven't did anything wrong.
That's what a jury's for, right? And so if you say you're not guilty, then you go in front of a jury and they determine after they listen to the evidence if you're guilty or not. That doesn't have anything to do with if they find you guilty, you understanding that they could send you to prison for between 2 years and up to 10 years. Do you understand that part? What are you, yes or no? No, you don't understand that. So, Ms. Pugh, it's my understanding, I'm not going to allow you to represent yourself because you don't understand the law and the process. So we're on question number 4 out of 15 that I'm supposed to ask you. So Mr. Jeffries is going to stay on your case. I don't care what you want at this point. You can't do it. All right, you can go back with the bailiff. I'm done. Go back with the bailiff. Go back with the bailiff. Welcome to the criminal appointment list. This was not meant to be any kind of punishment, I promise. So Mr. Jeffries, get ready like you would. Probably it's going to go straight onto a jury, and we'll just get it figured out that way. All right.
Think the judge handled this situation incredibly well-eyed. Give her a solid 10 out of 10. Let me know if you agree. But it really seemed like she did everything she could to ensure the hearing was fair before finally stepping in and ending it. Her patience stood out. I know I probably would have run out of it way earlier. But she kept her composure the whole time. At the same time, there's something a little sad about watching these moments unfold. You can tell the judge genuinely tried to give the defendant every chance to explain herself. Unfortunately, the outcome felt pretty inevitable. And to all of you watching, thank you for sticking through it. I know these cases can be a bit tough to sit through, but they're also fascinating in their own way. It's hard to look away when you see someone struggling to make a case. That just doesn't hold up. You could almost see her mind working overtime, trying to come up with answers, but in the end, it just didn't go her way. Let me know what you thought about the judges. Approach in the comments. Always enjoy hearing your perspective. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like and subscribe. I post new content every day, so stay tuned for more. Thanks so much for watching and take care, everyone.